Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today we have a knife review. And this one, I forgot the name. This is the Pacific Salt. Sorry, kind of weird to say it. This is the Spyderco Pacific Salt, and man, it is a big lightweight folder. So let's get into this. So the Salt, the overall length is 8.62 inches. The blade length is 3.81 inches. The blade edge, or the cutting edge, is 3.37 inches. The blade steel on it is H1. So this is Spyderco's H1 blade steel. It is designed to be corrosion resistant, if not completely corrosion proof. So the Spyderco more or less came up with a way to create knives that would cater to people that work in wet environments or salty wet environments, or any sort of environment that would more or less promote rust on metals. And so what they did is really used a lot of neat design features, and other companies have done the same. But the way they did it is kind of brilliant. And this is really another variation of a popular knife design that they have, which is the Endura, or the Delica. No, it's the Endura, I believe, which is their larger, lightweight, lock back folder. So the steel is H1. The shape is a clip point. Or not a clip point. Well, I don't know what this is. Almost like a sheep's foot drop point. The grind is a hollow grind, which you can see that comes about halfway from the blade stock. The edge is a plain edge, and the handle is made of an FRN, black FRN, and they have kind of a squared, dimpled texturing to add grip. And as you can see, the edges are slightly chamfered there, to make it much more comfortable in hand with some kind of shallow choils, which actually works really well. And on the blade, they have a large spider hole opening, as well as jimping on the back to provide grip on that thumb ramp. And there's actually a fairly sharp spine, so you could probably throw some sparks on a ferro rod. If not, I usually like to use the back lock itself to throw sparks, but that's for a different video. The weight on this guy is about 3 ounces, which is, for a knife this size, is really cool. And so what they did to prevent rust, besides making the blade out of H1, is they decided to get rid of as much metal hardware as possible. So if you look inside, which is kind of hard, but you'll have to trust me on this one, there's no frame within to be milled out, which is basically eliminating metal to rust. We have a pocket clip, which I don't know what the material is, but it said that more or less all the hardware on this knife has been treated in a way to prevent rust. So that means the metal in the lock back is treated, the pivot pins, and then the hardware to hold the pocket clip on. And as you can see, the pocket clip is 2 sides. It's left or right tip up only. And yeah, it's pretty unique, comfortable, waterproof knife. Now this I got in a trade, so it has been kind of beat up and used. The previous owner worked in a butcher shop, and so they're constantly washing dishes and getting blood and everything on it. So it held up really well so far, and it'll probably continue to hold up. So, comparing it to some other knives, it is a larger folder. So we're going to compare it to the Bird Raven 2, the HK Access, and the Piston. So, check this out. Blade length, it looks to be about the longest blade on the table. Handle-wise, it looks to kind of match the HK Access as well as the Piston. The Bird Raven has the shorter blade and the shorter handle, so we'll get rid of that one first. Looking at the thickness, the Raven 2 is thicker because it's a beast. I love this knife. Oh, handle thickness. They look about the same. Well, next up, HK Access. Access is thicker, so you know it is a thinner blade. The Pacific handle thickness, though, the Pacific is thinner. And then for the piston, once again, the piston looks thicker, and the handle looks slightly thicker. But this one's light as well, so pretty awesome. That being said, who's this knife for? I don't even know. I don't even know what the price is. I didn't really look into that. I got it on a trade, but I think this knife or the other H1 knives similar to it, whether it's the Salt or the Pacific, are anywhere from around $60 to $80 to maybe even $100. But I think for the most part they are sub $100. That being said, I have one last test to do, and that is the ugly brown glove test, if I can talk right. And so all we're doing is testing the knife in with a cloth glove, a kind of a bulky glove, to see for people who use gloves if it would work. So grip-wise right now, it is really comfortable. The texturing on the handle provides a decent amount of grip. I think the more lava grip, I think it was called, or the bidirectional texturing on some of the other knives Kershaw or Spyderco makes would grip it a slightly better, but you know, it is what it is and it works fine. The jimping on the back and the thumb ramp, though, really locks this knife in place and works excellent. So really like that. So one hand, once again, a mid back lock. Close it. I can open it one hand with that big, generous spider thumb hole. I can't flick it right now. I did kind of injure my thumb, so I don't necessarily have the strength. But I can manually open it like that, and it works fine. Yeah, so I say this definitely passes the ugly brown glove test. One-handed opening, definitely a pass, and I'd give it 80%. Only if I could flick it open would be a little bit better, but you know, maybe that's my fault, operator error. So cool knife, definitely good for anyone who works by the ocean or is planning to do, you know, whether a canoe trip or river trip, something where you're going to be in a lot of water, maybe even humid jungle environment. This will hold up a lot better than some of our other knives. So definitely check it out. And if you're a Spyderco fan, definitely a cool knife to have in the collection. So thank you guys. Be sure to check out this knife at Blade HQ or Amazon or any other of your favorite online retailers, or even any of your local knife shops like Sparta and Rosedale Mall. Love you guys. So check it out. Check out the eye in the upper right hand corner, and be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Stay tuned for other videos, and I'll check you guys. Well, not check you, but I'll see you guys outside. Have a good one.